Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman. He's always got itchy eyes, so so he's gonna open every episode like this.
Well, if I wear these when we're filming, it's like I have big glare in my eyeballs, so I take them off.
Well, look, we hadn't watched a lot of wrestling, but we did have two big events this weekend. We had EagleMania 2 and Monster Brawl. Let me ask you this. Who's the smartest man in pro wrestling, Ego?
Smartest man in pro wrestling, Ego? I guess me. I was in a Monster Brawl and I didn't get hit. You got knocked out.
Well, I was going to say it's Jim Sterling.
Okay. I'm going with me still.
Think about this. Since we've seen Jim Sterling, his Stardust, he debuted as Stardust and then went to Sterling, and now I think he's Jim Sterling. He evolved a little bit, but we saw him outsmart Orion Taylor and Adam Priest. He's done so much stuff. Well, at this event, he came out and doing his usual thing. General Manager Chuck McMullen came out and said, the crowd's tired of hearing you. I'm tired of hearing you. If you make one more word, if you say one more word, if you make one more peep during this match, I'm gonna, strip your guys of the titles or whatever. So to give Sterling credit, he didn't say a word. But what he did, he pulled his phone out, typed some things up, put his phone to the microphone, and continued cutting a promo with the text-to-talk app on his phone. So Jim Sterling has to be the smartest man in pro wrestling, Ego. I have to say that.
Technology-wise, yeah, I agree with that.
Because, who would have thought, you don't want me to talk. Well, I hit a few buttons and, he's got his phone talking for him. So, I don't know to give him props or what, but, he definitely outsmarted Chuck. So,
and his team won, didn't they?
And his team won. So, yeah, they are still the tag team champions. And, but yeah, it was crazy. So, get that out of the way. I just thought that was pretty interesting, pretty funny. That was probably one of the most non-violent, more memorable moments of the weekend. Because there was a lot of moments that were memorable, but most of them had violence in them.
A lot of them.
So you were not at the Meridian event.
Had to work.
But we'll do a quick review, and I'll tell you things that I remember about that, and run down the results of that thing. EagleMania was a huge success. Last year we had EagleMania 1, obviously, and it did really well. We had about 400 people there. So, we were expecting, about that same amount. And man, we were wrong. We had over 600 people there, which was crazy, and to think, 600 one night, less than 100 the next night is really like what is going on here.
You wasn't running against a free jazz concert.
Well, there was a lot of stuff going on, but there's always stuff going to go on, so you can't use that as an excuse. But the cool thing was, the building was packed. We had a film crew there. The guys that there's like a Netflix series or Hulu series or something. It's called Last Chance You, and these guys filmed a lot of that and put a lot of that together. So it's really cool to have them there. But it was a fun time. Raised a lot of money for the nursing program there at the Meridian Community College. So we're excited about that. And just some quick results. First match, Matt Kenway, he defeated Corey Roberts. Both those guys are St. Louis-based wrestlers. They had made the trip down to be at Ego this weekend. And a really, really solid match. I know Matt, he is a Elgin student, but he's been graduated for a few years. I think he still works out there, picks up knowledge from Michael Elgin. Corey Roberts is a Michael Elgin student that is just kind of getting out there. He's had maybe 20, 25 matches. So he's starting to get his name out there. But these guys came down and they worked really hard. It was a little tit for tat there for a minute. But Matt Kenway has like a discus elbow clothesline something, and it tore dude's head off. And poor guy couldn't kick out after he took that elbow shot from Kenway. So that was a fun match. Next we had Ursa Major taking on Wes Warren. This has been a going back, yeah. So it definitely goes back and forth. Unfortunately for Wes Warren, Ursa got the victory. I'm sure that's not what Wes had planned, but I'm sure that's what Ursa had planned. Next, we saw a SWA showcase match of sorts. The guys down south Mississippi area, they have TV in Meridian, and we were able to host that for them. And the way that happened was Barry Wolf and Lucas Frost were scheduled to wrestle the Southern Sensations, which is Calvin Rose and Blade Boudreaux. Blade Boudreaux, for some reason, wasn't there. They were giving a lot of credit to Riot, saying he was responsible
for Blade
Boudreaux being lost. So they were out there bragging, and Lucas Frost, Barry Wolf, and Wright was out there bragging about it. Calvin comes out and says, "You may have took out, my partner, but I do have an ally in the back." He brought out Mike Carter, who's the son of JYD. So we had a 2-on-3 handicap match. Unfortunately for Wright, even though Barry and Lucas were giving him props for taking out Blade Boudreaux, they didn't have his back as they left him in the ring to get beat up by Mike Carter and Calvin Rose.
We got your back 2 miles back.
Yeah, we got you back, but it's way back. So that was that, and that was pretty crazy. Next up, we got a Pride title match, Pro Wrestling EO Pride title match, as JD Jenkins took on Monty Warbucks. And if you were in attendance, you may have thought that Monty Warbucks was the new Pride champion. Unfortunately for him, he is not. JD Jenkins got DQ'd after he inadvertently knocked the referee from the ring to the floor. And Monty had one of his cronies there to come in and make the 3 count to give the illusion that he had won. Unfortunately for Monty, it didn't last very long. So cheaters never prosper. Let's just leave it at that.
You never know.
So then that led us to our main event.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I guess so. Which we saw Ray Fury take on the Minotaur. And, Ray Fury has figured out, if I jump off the top rope and do a froggy elbow, I can almost beat anybody. And he did. He beat the Minotaur. So it was a hard-fought match for him, though Minotaur is no slouch.
By God, no.
I mean, he is a huge individual that can move, buddy. And he gave Ray Fury all Ray Fury wanted. And I believe there was just a little mishap. Maybe, he missed a move or something, or did something to himself, and that let Fury, hit that elbow drop.
Gotcha.
So EagleMania was a success. I mean, I'm looking forward to going back next year for EagleMania 3, and hopefully it just continues to grow, and maybe there's 10,000 people there instead of 600.
Yeah.
So we do, we set the bar high with the first EagleMania. Second one raised it, so the third one we're gonna have to really bring it to.
From what I was told, you had like 6 roadside signs.
Yeah, we had 5 billboards.
Billboards, that's what I was trying to think of.
5 billboards. We had 6 like Coca-Cola type banners, radio,
billboards,
TV.
Help, dude, I'm telling you.
I mean, there's a lot of advertising going forth, and one thing we came to realize, you don't have to have a name; you just have to advertise. So
if they don't know you there, they can't come. It's kind of hard.
That's it. So it was all in all, it was a good night, And then that led us to the next night, which we were in Pearl, Mississippi, Monster Brawl. It was a wild night, to say the least.
I was there, I know.
I'm trying to just soak all of it in because that main event was so crazy and chaotic and condiment friendly.
Condiment friendly, thanks to your father.
So to start the night off, we got Britt Jackson taking on Matt Kenway.
Yep.
Matt Kenway, he was successful Friday night, but he was not successful Saturday. If you look at it from a walking away.
I was gonna say he won, but
he won the match.
He didn't walk away on his own 2 feet.
Right, Britt Jackson continued to choke him out.
I had to pull him off.
Got pulled off, went to the back, came back out, hit him again, started choking him some more. Britt, I don't know what happened, but Britt Jackson was definitely he was definitely fitting in with the Nightmare and the White Widow that night.
Yes.
So I don't think we've seen the last of Britt Jackson and Matt Kenway, because if I was Matt Kenway, I definitely want to get my hands on the mongrel.
Kenway showed me some stuff, man. He did a pump handle suplex on him. And
Oh, yeah?
Germed him twice.
Wow.
I was just like, he had more strength than I thought he did.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a jacked up dude,
Yeah,
you know.
Britt's a big old boy.
Yep. And then we got Jim Sterling coming out bragging about how, you know, he is leader of the tag team champions, the Constellation, how Ray Fury stole Ursa Styles championship, and how if the people would just put their beliefs in him, he could, you know, put them on the path to stardom. So,
have a little faith in Jim Sterling.
yeah, have a little faith in Jim Sterling, and he can lead you down the narrow path, so to speak. So he brung out, and then that's when the Chuck McMullen came out and told him to shut up or he would strip the titles. But we got to see Brandon Watley and Julius Pryor. First I seen them as a tag, and I was thoroughly impressed. What would you think?
I didn't get to see that match.
Okay.
I walked out for the match after, but I didn't get to see that.
You. One cool spot was, because we were in the gym, we were near a basketball goal.
I heard about that.
And Julius is not a huge guy.
He's pretty small.
But he is a jack guy. He's very athletic. And so he ran up, dunked onto the goal, swung back and forth, and delivered like double knee shots to O'Hagan and Alex Graves on the floor. So it was pretty sharp, unexpected moment. The crowd really got behind it. And I was very surprised that he was able to get that high.
Nice.
So
yeah, because he only came up to here on that.
Yeah. So it was very cool, but as cool as it was, it was for naught, because Alex Graves and O'Hagan did like a double team razor's edge type move to Brandon Watley, and that was all that was wrote. So unfortunately, you know, they lost, and still tag team champions is the Constellation.
Yep.
But Jim Sterling was not finished, as he was still throwing a fit, even though he was now celebrating because he could speak again. And he said that, you know, he's going to show everyone that Ursa is a force to be reckoned with, and he will beat Ray Fury and get his title back. And called out anyone in the back, and that challenge was met by Big Smooth, who was
big. Yep.
Yeah, he was probably twice Ursa's size.
He bigger than me and Ursa together. I'd say.
I mean, he definitely had probably
big old boy.
He probably had 6 inches on Ursa, and probably 150 pounds maybe. So
you ever heard of how big a boy are you? But he was that big.
But Ursa did prove that he was, you know, you may be bigger than me, but I'm the bigger man, as he defeated Big Smooth.
Ursa Samoan dropped that big old fella.
He did Samoan drop.
His legs were shaking like a daggum timber, but I mean,
he
got him up, bro. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So that was awesome, you know, that Samoan drop. And I guess Stardust didn't think Ursa had enough. Bring out one more. Who comes out? Almost the opposite of Big Smooth.
Literally.
So we got young Corey Roberts, who we saw the night before. He was not very successful the night before against Matt Kenway. He came out and he shocked, I believe, Stardust. He shocked Ursa, and I think he shocked the whole crowd when he caught Ursa in a roll-up and walked away with a win. So
don't write a check your butt in cash, you know. Just because you cashed that first one, you must have ran out of ink on the second one.
Yeah, his funds were a little low, and that check bounced, you know. So, but it was really cool moment. Hey, Corey Roberts, he came in there and done his thing. So I really can't hate on him.
So
you know?
he's got a win over a former champion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tag and Styles
champion, absolutely. So that's definitely gonna move him up the ranks. You know what I mean? True. And then that took us to the main event, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Main event, Monster Brawl. Whew. All over the building?
Yeah. Through the crowd, to the floor, to the food.
Yeah. We saw so much chaos.
Almost through the ring.
Yeah, almost through the ring. Saw Chuck McMullen get handcuffed.
Yeah.
You know, took like a back suplex on the apron from Britt Jackson. And that was not even the guys that were in the match. You know, Bristol was out there getting involved. For a while there, it was a 3-on-1 for JD Jenkins.
All I can do is stand back and watch, brother. You paid me to be a ref that night, and that was it.
You know, they fought through the building, all over the place. Concessions was wrecked. You know, anything that can go on a hot dog or on chips were strewn across the building, as I guess Nightmare decided to make nachos over there or something. Piled all the food on a tray and hit JD in the head with it.
I mean, big old glob.
So
whatever the hell it was, and it had this smell. Like that damn near beat me. It was like,
well, what do you feed a Nightmare and a Beast? You know
I don't know, but I got my butt back and didn't want none on me.
So it was crazy. It was all over the place in the bleachers. Young Dash, one of the young students of the Ego Dojo, he got taken out by the Nightmare.
And boy, it didn't make them fans mad.
Yeah, well, they wasn't happy about it, but you know, when you're there ringside, you never know what can happen. And
all I hear is, "He hit that baby, kill that SOB." I was like, okay.
So, and JD did. Nightmare, I think, tried to end JD's life as he removed the padding from the ring and just exposed the bare wood and steel. Delivered somewhat of a wicked pedigree that left a huge knot and skint mark on JD's face.
Hell, he kicked out.
So, don't know how he kicked out.
And he kicked out and won.
At one?
At one.
Wow. Yeah, it must have been
I think it knocked him dizzy. I think that's what happened.
He probably didn't know what day it was. So he probably didn't realize he kicked out. It was probably just his body having a spasm.
I'm just like, it was one.
Yeah, I think his body just spasmed and you just thought it was a kick out.
No, his alarm went up.
But JD got back to his feet and delivered a Jinkinator onto the bare woods to the Nightmare, which 1, 2, 3, still Pride champion JD Jenkins, but he definitely had to earn it.
Yeah.
So
Nightmare was 10 stars the next day.
Yeah, it was a crazy night, crazy weekend really of action. Two completely different. You know, they say every coin has two sides, and I think this weekend showed it. You know, we had a pretty straightforward event with tons and tons and tons of people. Like I say, I'd probably say it was probably close to 700 if I ever had to get it, but I'm going to say right above 6 for sure.
Yeah, I saw a nice argument on that.
Yeah, well, you know,
funny.
When you sell tickets, you have a better idea of what
if you don't come to the show, you don't know what's going on.
But had a really good night. Next night, awesome crowd, hot crowd, loud crowd. They were into it, but they were definitely smaller.
Yeah.
Like I say, it was less than 100 people. You know, right around 60, 70 people that was there. But, you know, these guys were crazy in front of 70 people. So, hey, man, you never know. Whether it's one person or 1,000, you're going to get your money's worth at Ego. So, super cool night. But, yeah, that's really all that was there.
Pro wrestling.
So, what do you have any thoughts about what happened? I know you didn't see EagleMania, but you saw, you know, some of the stuff that happened at Monsters Brawl. You want to add to the feedback?
All I can say is them boys are nuts, man. I said, you know, I've slowed down my career a lot. But, you know, hell, Nightmare's been through a lot of pain and suffering his time. But he still ain't slowed up. He's just as crazy as he ever was.
Yeah, maybe worse.
And I decided I'm just going to stand back and watch them fight.
That's really all you can
That's
do.
all you can do. And I mean, if you're a good referee, you stay the hell out of the way, count 3.
Especially when it's no DQ, yeah.
You know, I asked him to quit choking him. I'm like, that's all I can do at this point, bro.
I mean, you can ask, but I ain't going to enforce it.
Nothing I can do. Choke his ass out. That was been it.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, huh?
That's all.
So, that was this weekend in Ego. Next event, April 13th, we got Fight Night 5 coming up.
That's my birthday.
It's going to be in Richland, Mississippi at the Richland High School at the old gymnasium. We've got a thing for old gymnasiums. So, we definitely like them.
They're cheaper than new gymnasiums.
Yeah, that could be it too. So, so we're going to be in Richland, Mississippi at the old gym, Fight Night 5, April 13th, raising money for the Richland Rangerettes, the dance team. So, looking forward to that. You may see the old madman get out there and dance with the ladies. So, only if they play some Michael Jackson.
That's it.
So, come check us out, April 13th, Richland, Mississippi, Fight Night 5. Gonna have Ray Fury, JD Jenkins, Dax Anthony is coming back. We're having Chris Crump, Kenny Steele, a lot of guys. We're gonna have a women's match. Bristol Hale takes on Taylor Ray. So, come join us, Fight Night 5, April 13th, Richland, Mississippi. Later, guys.